Hello, my name is Steve Bowler, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at logical systems. Specifically within logical systems, we're going to be taking a look at how to use the EM interface option within your Juniper router. If you've already seen the Logical Systems Lab 1, then you know that in Logical Systems Lab 1 we showed you how to use the LT interface option, and in this video we're going to show you how to use the EM interface option to create logical systems. This is Logical Systems Lab number 2. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at binding logical systems within your Juniper router together to form connections. So as you can see in our diagram, we have router 1, router 2, and router 3. What we're going to do is we're going to simulate all these within one physical Juniper router. If you were with me with the Logical Systems Lab number 1, you saw and you learned that logical systems, we can have some Juniper routers. At the time of this release, some Juniper routers were able to support up to 15 logical systems on one physical router. The logical systems allow you to split up and have different routing processes going on, and you can name them. So we're going to name 3 routing processes: router 1, router 2, and router 3, and then we're able to bind these connections together from one router to another using, in this lab, the EM interface option. In Logical Systems Lab 1 we showed you how to use the LT, our logical tunnel interface, to create these bindings. In this lab we're going to show you how to use the EM interface option to create connections between your logical systems. So let's go ahead and jump right into this lab and let's get this configured. But before we get into the physical router to create the logical systems and link them together using the EM interface option, what we're going to do is I'm going to explain to you the difference between the EM interface option and the logical tunnel option when trying to connect the routers or the logical systems together. With the logical tunnel you had 3 options. You had to give it an IP address. You also had to use the encapsulation command, and then you also had to use the peer unit command. So what we're going to see with the EM interface option when we're trying to bind or connect 2 routers or logical systems together is we don't have as much configuration, but the configuration is different. So we need to explain this so that you have a solid foundation on how this works. And the first key point to see in this diagram is that we have from R1 to R2 we are using EM0 on R1, and on router 2 we are using